When you look at the history of the world, you'll see that humanity has always been chasing something. Infinite energy, ways to defeat death, the mysterious connection between soul and body. For thousands of years, civilizations built temples, prayed, and conducted experiments. And sometimes they looked to the skies for the greatest answers. The sun, the source of life. That massive sphere of energy once declared a god by ancient civilizations. And even today, science has yet to fully uncover all its mysteries. It's not just a star hanging in the sky. It may very well be an ancient key we're not even aware of. Throughout history, some have claimed to use this key. Ancient Egyptian priests, Tibetan monks, Indian yogis, they all believed that gazing at the sun, taking in its light directly into the body, led to spiritual and physical transformation. But no one had ever been able to prove these claims. Not until a man living in India stood up in 1995 and told the entire world, "I don't need to eat. I live on sunlight." The scientific community was shaken. Doctors, researchers, journalists, everyone thought he was a fraud. But then, things began to take a turn far stranger than anyone had expected. This video tells the astonishing story of that man, Hira Ratan Manek. It's not just about one man's experiment. You'll also witness the boundaries of science, the depth of the soul, and perhaps even the forgotten power of the human body. If you're ready, let's begin. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Your support means a lot to me. Welcome to my channel, Discovery of the Mystery, where we will uncover the secrets. In 1995, a man in India made a claim that would push the boundaries of the scientific world. "I live on sunlight." Yes, you heard that right. No solid food, no fruits, no vegetables, just sunlight and a bit of boiled water. His name, Hira Ratan Manek. This man, who abandoned his engineering education to follow the path of ancient wisdom, decided to test whether the body could survive solely on light without food. In fact, the question wasn't new. Ancient Indian yogis, Tibetan monks, and Egyptian beliefs all spoke of sun gazing, absorbing light directly through the eyes as a path to spiritual and physical transformation. But for Manek, belief wasn't enough. He needed proof. And in 1995, in front of everyone's eyes in India, he began an experiment. At sunrise and sunset, he would stand barefoot on the ground and gaze at the sun. The only other thing he consumed was sun-charged boiled water at specific times. At first, the scientific community thought he was a fraud. They took immediate action. He was locked in a room and monitored 24/7 by camera. Blood tests were conducted, body scans performed, and retinal exams repeated again and again. But as the days passed, Manek was still standing. He wasn't losing weight or energy, and this continued for 411 days. The event caused such a stir that even NASA eventually got involved. In 2002, Manek was invited to the United States. At the University of Pennsylvania, he began working with a team of the most respected scientists in their fields. A total of $5 million in funding was allocated to the project. The goal to understand what was happening inside this man's body. The results were shocking. Manek's pineal gland, often associated with the third eye, was found to be 3 times more active than normal. His melatonin and serotonin levels had skyrocketed. Extraordinary signs of neuroplasticity were observed in his brain, and most striking of all, there were no signs of hunger in his body. It was as if his body had learned to use light as biological fuel. So how could this be possible? Manek's method was simple yet astonishing. It began with 10-second gazes at the sun during sunrise or sunset, increasing by 10 seconds each day, eventually reaching a total of 44 minutes. And throughout the process, it was essential to remain barefoot and in contact with the earth. According to his theory, the eyes absorb the sunlight, sending signals to the hypothalamus, which then reaches the pineal gland. The result? Not just a physiological transformation, but a cognitive one. Increased energy, heightened awareness, and the ability to live on less food. But what happened next was even more intriguing. NASA never released the full report of the study to the public. The project was quietly shelved. The researchers said nothing. Manek's name was barely mentioned in mainstream media. Meanwhile, he continued quietly giving lectures and training in over 30 countries around the world. His followers claimed improved physical endurance, better sleep, and heightened mental clarity. Some even said they no longer needed food. Naturally, there were those who called this method pseudoscience. But Manek never sold anything. No pills, no coaching, no cult. Just a single idea. When a human aligns with nature, they become limitless. Maybe it wasn't just about skipping meals. Maybe it was about regaining access to a forgotten level of consciousness, about reestablishing the ancient synchronization between the body, the mind, and nature. And maybe sun gazing wasn't just a technique, it was a call to awaken. But there's an uncomfortable truth here. Plants convert sunlight into energy. Animals eat those plants, and we eat those animals. So, why can't we consume the source directly? Maybe Manek wasn't challenging science, but rather our forgotten inner intelligence. Hira Ratan Manek passed away on March 13, 2022, at the age of 85. He left behind an extraordinary life story that continues to spark debate and brought the concept of living on sunlight into public discussion. The human body, do we truly know its limits? Or are the limits we believe in simply the ones we've been taught to accept? One man devoted his life to answering that question. His path brought him neither title nor fame, but it opened the door to something we've been forced to forget: the ancient wisdom hidden within nature. Science still can't fully explain it, but maybe the issue lies far deeper than scientific validation, in the courage to question, to challenge the truths we've been told, and to be open to wherever those questions may lead. Because sometimes an idea goes beyond a single life, and one man's gaze can open the eyes of an entire world. So, what do you think? You can share your thoughts on this topic in the comments. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed my content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. You can support my channel by liking and commenting on my content. Until we meet again.